Open the door, Jay.
All right, yeah, we live. Shalom, y'all. I'm Brother Jacob.
Brother Nehemiah.
Brother Bethel. Brother Joel. Brother Ymir.
Salute.
Oh, Brother Isaiah.
And lock the door. And we're going live right now, and we're going to go over some excerpts in this book called The Itinerary of Benjamin of Tudela. There's a lot of history in here that lines up with the scriptures. So right now we're just going over some of this stuff. And what we're going to do, we're going to start with the introduction. And we got, some of us have soft copies or paperbacks, and some of us have hardbacks, and they got different pages. So under the introduction 1, pick up a paragraph where it says, "It was."
The ill treatment?
Yeah, read.
What page is that on y'all?
It's 12 in our book.
So the hard copy is page 12 and the soft back is page 4 at the top. It says, "It was the ill treatment by the Seljuks of the Christian pilgrims to Palestine which aroused Christian Europe and led to the first crusade."
All right, if y'all don't know, the Crusaders are also known as the Franks. We'll get into the Franks later. And jump down to where it says the Crusaders.
The Crusaders had little difficulty in making their way to Palestine. They captured Jerusalem and established the Latin kingdom there.
See there? It says Latin. Who speaks Latin? The Romans, so-called white men. Yeah, keep going.
By the middle of the 12th century, Mohammedan power had shrunk to smaller dimensions. Not only did the Franks hold Palestine and all the important posts on the Syrian coast, but by the capture of Lesser Armenia, Antioch, and Edessa, they had driven a wedge into Syria and extended their conquest even beyond the Euphrates.
So this is talking about the Franks. Keep that in mind, the Franks. Keep going.
At length, there came a pause in the decline of Islam. Zengi, a powerful Seljuk, Antioch, in 1144 captured Edessa, the outpost of Christendom.
Christendom. Dealing with the same people. Keep going.
And the second crusade, led by the Emperor Conrad of Germany and by King Louis, was that?
The
seventh of France, failed to effect the recapture of the fortress.
Hold on for a second. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Crusades were led by the Franks. What the Crusades is or was a holy war between the Mohammedans or people in Islam and the Christians, so-called white men.
Christianity is being described as political right here. Because it's saying the outpost of Christendom.
Right.
So Christendom is not meaning religious right here.
Well, Christianity is a religious.
No, it's really meaning religion, but it's being referred to as it
is political.
Yeah.
The whole reason that you had the Edict of Thessalonica and the Council of Nicaea was a political movement to keep that kingdom in order, because you had Christians, people that were following after Christ, and then you had the pagans. So to keep them from fighting against each other and keeping that kingdom intact, they made those edicts. So that's how Christianity spread. It's a political movement, and people don't know that. And they stuck in that man. All right, go ahead.
Nuruddin, the far-sighted son of successor of Zengi, and later on the Saladin, a Kurd trained at his court, discovered how to restore the fallen might of Islam and expelled the Franks from Asia.
Right, stop right Now, a lot of you might not know, but Saladin was a great general of the Mohammedans or the Islamic armies. He even fought the Franks in Egypt. You can find that in any encyclopedia. Now, and y'all underline that and then go down. I don't know where it is on. It's on the next page in our book. It's on page 13, where it says at this juncture.
I got it. So on page 5 on the soft book, second paragraph. And on page what on the hard book? 13. All right. At this juncture, the traveler Rabbi Benjamin came to Egypt. Some 3 years earlier, he had left his native people, Tudela, on the Ebro in the north of Spain. After passing through the prosperous towns which lie on the Gulf of Lions, he visited Rome and South Italy. From Otranto, he crossed over to Corfu, traversed Greece, and then came to Constantinople, of which he gave an interesting account, very telling. For example, are the words, they hired from amongst all nations warriors called barbarians.
Hold on. So that's why you see Paul in the scriptures saying there's neither Jew nor Greek nor barbarian nor Scythian. So this is all people. It's not just the Greeks.
Right. That was on page 5, the soft book. You got soft book, right?
Yeah. Second paragraph. So long I can't remember. You can look it up.
You got it?
While you looking it up, you can keep going, man.
Barbarians. So they hired from amongst all nations warriors called barbarians to fight with the Sultan of the Seljuks. For the natives are not warlike, but are as women who have no strength to fight. After visiting the islands of the Aegean, as well as groves of Cyprus, he passed on to Antioch and followed the well-known southern route, skirting the Mediterranean, visiting the important cities along the coast, all of which were then in the hands of the Franks.
In the hands of the Franks. Keep Franks in mind. All right, you got that scripture, Joe?
Yeah, it's Colossians chapter 3, verse 11, where this is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, but Christ is all and in all.
So he's telling you that our people were amongst all these factions. So our people were even being called barbarians.
Where is it showing that these are Israelites?
No, Paul is telling you right there. You're neither. Read it again.
All right. The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 11, where there is neither Greek nor Jew,
meaning Greek-speaking Jew,
circumcision nor uncircumcision,
those raised in the law, those not raised in the law,
barbarian, Scythian,
see,
bond nor free, but Christ is all and in all.
Right.
The book's match with the Bible.
That's right.
Perfectly.
All right, skip over.
So, hold on. It says, for the natives are not warlike, but are as women.
Talking about the white man, the Greeks. Soft.
Sweet sauce with the tea.
Pronounce all the T's and that's
That's good, man. Chill out. Pause there, boy.
All right. Page 14 and now on the
14. So it's probably page. How far you went over? Where you at now?
Where it says about that time.
News had reached about that time. News had reached year. Yeah. Page 6 on the soft book. 14. Page 14 on the hard book. Paul. Second paragraph. About that time, news had reached Europe that a powerful Christian king named Prester John, who reigned over a people coming from Central Asia, had invaded Western Asia and inflicted a crushing defeat upon a Muslim army.
See, constantly it's the holy war: Christians versus the Mohammedans, the Muslims.
Pope Alexander III conceived the hope that a useful ally could be found in this priest king, who would support and uphold the Christian dominion in Asia.
See, Christianity spreading throughout the earth.
So anytime there was Christian men, white men at this time.
Yeah, all the nations that accepted Christianity were nations of the white man.
He accordingly dispatched his physician Philip on a mission to the mysterious potentate to secure his help against the Mohammedans. The envoy never returned.
All right, let's keep going.
Benjamin is one of the very few writers of the Middle Ages who gives us an account of these subjects of Prester John. They were no other than the infidels, the sons of Guz.
The sons of Guz.
Or Kofar al-Tarak, the wild, flat-nosed Mongol hordes from the top to Tartary steeps.
Okay, that's it. So the flat nose, they were no other than the infidels, the sons of Guz, or the Kofar al-Tarak, the wild, flat-nosed Mongol hordes from the tertiary steppes. Now skip down to the next paragraph. These were,
all right, still on page 6 soft book, still on page 14 hard book. Paragraph number 4. These were not men likely to help the Christians. On the contrary, as is so fully described in Benjamin's Itinerary, they broke the power of Sultan Sinjar, the mighty Shah of Persia.
The Shah of Persia.
The mighty Shah of Persia.
So if you know about Islam, you got Shahs set up. Now the Shah of Persia.
What's the Shah?
That's talking about the Shah. Somebody look it up. Look up Shah. The Shah of Persia.
It's like a king.
Persia.
Like a sheikh almost.
Yeah, but it's the leader. It's
in Islam. They got sheikhs. Because when I was in Iraq,
they got sheikhs. But now, I don't know if any of y'all was around at the time. Shoot, I'm old. America supported the Shah of Iran. And they had they caused the coup and got him overthrown. See, America and Iran go all the way back to the 50s. They've been beefing since the 50s.
I see what they mean.
So the Shah of Persia, that's talking about Iran, the Carmanians.
Yeah,
and they follow Islam too.
Yeah.
This is coming from Wikipedia. Shah is a title given to the emperors, kings, princes, and lords of Iran, historically also known as Persia.
Right, Shah of Persia, meaning the king of Persia.
Okay, got it. The mighty Shah, or king of Persia, who had been spared by the men of Guz, would have proved a serious menace to Saladin.
Keep that name in mind.
It took Saladin some years to consolidate his empire.
Keep going.
In 1187, he felt himself in a position to engage the Franks in a decisive conflict.
Engaging the Franks again. Keep going.
At the Battle of Tiberias, Guy, the Latin king, was defeated and taken prisoner.
Hold on right there. The Battle of Tiberias, Guy, the Latin king, the Romans speak Latin. They right along with the Franks. They the same people. Now, I looked that up. The Battle of Tiberias, Guy, is also called, you can Google it on Wiki. is called the Battle of Hat. The Battle of Hat. That's how I found out about the red-headed Edomite queen that fought against the Romans and killed 80,000 of their soldiers, and she was defeated by the guy that wrote that book we use for resources, Suetonius. Suetonius defeated her. But you know, they were fighting each other. You know, there was Europeans fought each other for dominance to see who was going to win. There's a scripture for that too. Matter of fact, since I said it, let's go there. Go to Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4. Esau was given, his gift was the sword, right? Yeah, read it.
The book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red.
Red, talking about Esau.
And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
So he has been given power to take away peace from the earth, and he's done the entire earth.
And that they should kill one another.
Right, they should kill one another.
Yeah,
They fought against each other for dominance.
And there was given unto him a great sword.
A great sword. We know that's talking about Esau. That was his blessing in Genesis 27, verse 40 and 41.
Is the fact that they're killing each other again with these mass shootings and things?
No, that's them bringing recompense upon their own heads. Back to
we need to do this for all books. Just go through all the books.
back to Benjamin of Tudela. So you was at where it said
Prisoner taking prisoner.
yeah, taking prisoners. This right here ain't no surprise coming up.
The Knights Templars and Hospitallers.
The Knights Templars. You saw in that movie. What's the movie with Tom Hanks? It did 2 or 3 of them.
Which one?
No, when they was trying to find the Holy Grail.
No, that's
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Hidden Treasures.
No.
That wasn't National Treasure.
No.
No.
That's Nicolas Cage.
That's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
That's not Indiana
Tom
Jones.
Hanks.
No.
Oh, Demon.
Yeah, he was
Angels and
Demons.
Demons.
Angels and
No,
Demons.
that was like the
The third one, but there was 2
yeah.
other ones too.
What was the first one? It's the first one.
You know it.
I know it. I do know it. I saw it.
It's in my head. It's ready to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ready to come out.
That was the guy with the alpine dude was beating himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You looking up?
Yeah, he was mad because he was crazy. But he was a Knights Templar.
Yeah, because he was
So the Knights, the Knights Templars were Edomites. It's telling you right here. So the Knights Templars and the Hospitallers, the Latins, the Franks, they all the same people.
All right, so I believe that first one was the Da Vinci Code.
Right.
Da Vinci Code.
The Knights Templars from the Da Vinci Code. It's talking about them too.
And then Angels and Demons was the second and then Inferno.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead, Knights Templars.
The Knights Templars and Hospitallers of whose doings at Jerusalem, Benjamin gives us particulars. Either shared the fate of the king, or were slain in action.
They were all the same people, just from different tribes of Esau. They think they different.
Right.
They all the same.
Right.
They all got those same traits.
Yeah.
You know, red hair or brown hair or blonde hair, freckles, blue eyes, green eyes. I mean,
All recessive traits.
right, all recessive traits from the MC1R gene. They the only ones that have that. Right. All right. Now, Dad, Go down to the bottom of that. Where it say the fourth.
The fourth. All right. It says on page 7 of the soft book at the top. And you still, what page you on?
15.
15 at the bottom of the hard book. It says the fourth and fifth crusades were equally unsuccessful, and the tide of Islam's success rose high.
Keep going.
After Saladin's death, his empire gradually crumbled to pieces, and under Genghis Khan, an invasion took place.
All right, hold it right there. For those of you who don't know, you can Google this and find it. Genghis Khan was a red-headed, blue-eyed Edomite. The most recessive traits you can have. You can get, yes, a blue-eyed, red-headed Edomite.
Wow. You can pull up a link on another window.
I ain't worried about it. Oh, somebody knew it. They said the Da Vinci Code.
I would like to know where that's at. Where that says.
Yeah, you can when you look it up, because you know his DNA is in most people in Asia.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, in most of Moab, and you'll see him with red hair and blue eyes.
Moabites?
Yes. Yeah, you can Google it. They get that. You know, some of them they got Esau genes in them. All right, yeah, go ahead, you man.
And under Genghis Khan, an invasion took place of hordes of Mongols and Tartars, of whom the Guz had been merely the persecutors.
So look, the Mongols, I believe the Mongols were Moab, and they were fighting for Genghis Khan. Now, I can't remember what my source was, but, you know, Genghis Khan and his people, they were Edomites. The Mongols, whatever, were Moabites, and they didn't know how to rule themselves. They could fight wars and win, but they didn't know how to rule themselves. So they wanted Genghis Khan and his people to rule over them and guide them. That's how they came together. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So they took over Asia.
Yeah.
They built the Great Wall trying to get away from these people. That's why his DNA is everywhere. I mean, Esau. Go ahead.
They overran China and Russia, Persia, and parts of Western Asia. The Afghan, what's that? Caliphate.
Yeah, Caliphate.
And Baghdad was overthrown. But to Islam itself, fresh life was imparted. The rapid decline of the Mongol power at the end of the 13th century gave free scope to the rise of the Ottoman Turks.
Yep, beginning their empire.
Who had been driven from their haunts east of the Caspian Sea. Like their kinsmen, the Seljuks, they settled in Asia Minor and embraced the Mohammedan faith, an example which many Mongols followed.
All right. So now, yeah, right. All right, let's go to let's see, Hebrew introduction.
He had the location of the Tower of Babel. That was around.
Yeah, I mean, he tells you in here that the Tower of Babel is 2 miles in each direction.
How big is it?
Yeah, 2 miles. They were building it. This dude were everywhere, man.
They need a strong base for how they wanted to do it.
Oh, on our page, what's that, 26?
So that means I'm on page 16.
See that?
2 mile wide.
Thanks. It is 3 parasangs.
No, it's 6 days journey.
So it's another parasang.
So on page 26 in the
Okay,
hardback.
page 17 in the soft book.
26.
One, two, about the third paragraph down, and page 26 in the hard book. Last paragraph. It says, "Thence it is 6 days' journey to the great city of Rome. Rome is the head of the kingdoms of Christendom."
The kingdoms of Christendom.
Bring that up. And contains about 200 Jews who occupied an honorable position and pay no tribute, and amongst them are officials of the Pope Alexander, the spiritual head of all Christians.
Spiritual head of all Christians.
This is Rodrigo's dad, right?
Yeah,
Cicero's dad right here, right? Or no?
Which one? Alexander, yeah. Pope, that should be Pope Alexander the Sixth.
Great scholars reside here, at the head of them being R. Daniel, the chief rabbi, and R. Jekyll, an official of the Pope.
All right, skip down the next paragraph.
All right. Starts with there, bottom of 17, last paragraph, soft book. Page what? Still 26 hard book?
27.
27. All right, 27 hard book. There are many wonderful structures in the city, different from any others in the world, including both its inhabited and ruined parts. Rome is about 24 miles in circumference. In the midst thereof, there are 80 places belonging to 80 kings who lived there, each called Imperator, commencing from King Tarquinius down to Nero and Tiberius.
Man, Nero was a wicked Edomite, man. That dude, you ever heard of Nero burning software? Well, he used to burn our people.
Yeah,
he used to burn our people. He set the city on fire and blamed it on us and had a bunch of our people killed. All right.
He's even burning.
In a Venus set, we were just talking about Genghis Khan and them being Mongoloid. It made me think about Lot when he had
Genesis.
Right.
Think about that. Yeah,
Right.
Lot doors.
Genesis what?
The Mongols.
Yeah, the Mongol syndrome.
Right, exactly. And that's what he ended up calling people, Mongoloid. That's Genesis 19. I started verse 31.
Read it loud. Right here.
It said, "And the firstborn said unto the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father."
Right. So they thought at that time Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by the Most High.
Right.
So they thought all people had been destroyed, had been killed.
Right.
So they're like, let us give, preserve seed of our father, keep the lineage going, because that's very important.
Right.
But go ahead.
And that show you all who your father is.
Well, they knew that.
Yeah,
Some people today don't.
Right.
Verse 33, "And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father. And he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose." Verse 34, "And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with my father.
Incest.
Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father."
See? Go ahead.
Verse 35, "And they made their father drink wine that night also. And the younger arose and lay with him. And he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose."
So he slept with both of them. He was drunk out of his mind and didn't know. Keep going.
Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son and called his name Moab.
The father of the Moabites, the Chinese. Go ahead.
The same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. And the younger, she also bare a son and called his name Ben-Ami. The same is the father of the children of Ammon until this day.
The so-called Japanese.
You wonder why they look like they got down.
Right. That's why they look like that.
Incest.
But you know, Lot and his daughters at that time, they thought they were the only people left on the earth.
Well, Lot didn't think that. They did.
His daughters
did. He didn't willingly sleep with
So
them.
how drunk could you be to not know that they're your children?
Who knows? They got him drunk.
Think about it. He might have.
I'm just saying he had some wickedness on him. Too.
No, but think about it. He probably was depressed. White guy turned to a pillow of salt. You know, he tried to. He tried to warn his son-in-law. He wouldn't listen. They took him
probably sitting there like,
that was his daughter's husband.
the sheep gonna be licking on
Man,
my
he was
wife.
ready to drink something, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He said the sheep gonna be
Yeah,
licking
the
on my
sheep gonna
wife.
be licking on my wife. And when we come back?
You know, to this day, goats and sheep still go to rock.
And lick it. And they say that it comes back.
Yep, and they come back.
Yeah.
Wherever they lick, it goes down, but it comes back.
Mhm.
Yeah. Who left off?
All right, let's go. Let's go. Damn, we got all this stuff highlighted. We can't cover all this stuff. Here's what we're gonna do. Find that, man.
28.
On page 28.
So that's 10 on that's 18. It says from 3, 1 goes.
Yeah, I want you to go to 1 Kings 8. What verse is that?
Page 19, sophomore. Second paragraph.
What page is that?
From there, one goes to
28.
Hosea.
First Kings 11.
Let me see your scripture real quick, Pastor.
Careful, man.
I know it's your sword, man.
I ain't got no ripped pages. I used to never have a Bible. Back in the day, my Bibles used to be ripped. I used to not really care.
I got a couple, but they taped up with clear tape.
Now,
wow.
I don't have not one ripped page, yo.
You gotta hold on.
I ain't got no pages coming out, but you know, they made this joint good. This half skin.
Man, I would cry if
You ripped the page?
no, I mean, if I didn't have my scriptures, like I left my Bible at home last night, man. I was on the computer, though. I used the computer.
It ain't the same. It ain't the same. I look for scripts on the phone, couldn't find it. Oh, my Bible.
It's 14, 11, 14. We're going to read it first.
That was last
11,
night.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah, just had that on got you.
All right, go ahead, you man.
Oh. We on page 19, second paragraph on the soft book. What page on the hard? 28 on the hard book. What paragraph?
Remember, y'all, this book is called The Itinerary of Benjamin of Tudela. It's a nationally archived book. This is the hardback here. It's only $26.
This is like 10 or $15 in softback.
Right. It's a nationally archived book, so they can't charge a bunch of money for it.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, we might have a ISB.
Yeah, you got baby. So get them shoes right there.
It's on the back.
Oh, no. Hold on. Before we go there, man, we got to bring this out. I can't skip over that. We're gonna hit this right here, and then go to this page, and that'll be all for the live video. But
Which one? Jake? Page what?
just go up from there where it says start in Rome.
Oh my goodness! In Rome, there's a cave.
Yeah.
Page 18 of the soft book. On the third paragraph down, it says, in Rome, there is a cave which runs underground, and catacombs of King Carmel, Galson, and his royal consort, who are to be found there, seated upon their thrones, and with them about 100 royal personages. They are all embalmed and preserved to this day. In the church of St. John, in the Lateran, there are 2 bronze columns taken from the temple, the handiwork of King Solomon, each column being engraved, Solomon, the son of David.
So, in this church, there are 2 bronze columns taken from the temple, taken from our temple. This is in Rome. They took these columns from our temple, and they're engraved Solomon, the son of David. Read on.
The Jews of Rome told me that every year upon the 9th of Ab,
9th of Abib,
9th of Abib, they found the columns exuding moisture like water.
All right, if you know the scriptures, you know the 10th of Abib, you're supposed to kill the Passover lamb. Right? And then you're supposed to have the Passover on the 14th day of Abib. Abib is the first month of the year. All right.
There also is a cave where Titus, the son of Vespasian,
Y'all should know who Titus is. Titus and Vespasian are the ones that took down Jerusalem in 70 AD.
So there also is the cave where Titus, the son of Vespasian, stored the temple vessels which he brought from Jerusalem.
There you go. There's always been speculation that the Romans took all our artifacts and they have them. They have hidden them. Well, he's backing this up.
Yeah.
They got them in them catacombs.
Can't go there.
You can't go in the Vatican. They ain't let you go on the Vatican.
Nope. Go ahead.
You'll be shot.
There's also a cave in a hill on one bank of the river Tiber, where are the graves of the 10 martyrs. In front of St. John in the Lateran, there are statues of Samson in marble.
Man, I'd love to see that.
Wow.
I would love to see that. You know it don't look like no damn Edomite.
It's marble. Wow. With a spear in his hand. And of Absalom, the son of King David, and another of Constantinus the Great, who built Constantinople, and after whom it was called. The last named statue is of bronze, the horse being overlaid with gold. Many other edifices are there, and remarkable sights beyond enumeration.
Man, they some doubles, man. Now skip the next paragraph.
Yeah. Let's say from there.
From where? From there, page 19, soft book, second paragraph. Where you at?
28 last paragraph.
28 last paragraph, hard book. From there, one goes to Pozuli, which is called Sorrento the Great.
And some people know, some people might have them, but a car called Sorrento.
Yep.
Right. This is Rome. This is talking about Rome. When you look it up, Sorrento is Rome. Okay. Go ahead, you man.
Built by Zer, son of Hadadezer.
Son of Hadadezer.
Hadadezer, when he fled in fear of David the king.
When he fled in fear of David the king. 1 Kings chapter 11 and verse 14.
The book of 1 Kings chapter 11 verse 14. And the Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite.
Hadad the Edomite.
He was of the king's seed in Edom. Verse 15. For it came to pass, when David was in Edom, and Joab, the captain of the host, was gone up to bury the slain, after he had smitten every male in Edom. For 6 months did Joab remain there with all Israel, until he had cut off every male in Edom.
So they were putting to death all the Edomites. But evidently, Hadad and some others escaped from Joab and David. Keep going.
Verse 17. That Hadad fled, he and certain Edomites of his father's servants with him, to go into Egypt. Hadad being yet a little child.
Keep going.
He said going to Egypt.
Yep, to go into Egypt. They went into Egypt. Keep going.
Verse 18. And they arose out of Midian and came to Paran. And they took men with them out of Paran, and they came to Egypt. unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, which gave him.
Back up again and start the other one again.
All right. Verse 18. And they arose out of Midian and came to Paran. And they took men with them out of Paran, and they came to Egypt.
They came to Egypt. Go ahead.
Unto Pharaoh, king of the Egypt.
So they went to the Pharaoh,
which gave him a house and appointed him victuals.
So he gave him a house and food.
And gave him land.
What happened when you hobnob with Esau?
He take over.
Right. That's why they're not there today. Keep going.
Verse 19. And Hadad found great favor in the sight of Pharaoh.
Pharaoh liked him.
So that he gave him to wife, the sister of his own wife.
And he, oh my gosh,
the sister of Tahpenes, the queen. And the sister of Tahpenes bare him Jenobal, his son, who Tahpenes weaned in Pharaoh's house. And Jenobal,
just like Moses.
And Jenobal was in Pharaoh's household among the sons of Pharaoh. And when Hadad heard in Egypt that David slept with his fathers.
So when Hadad found out that that David had died,
and that Joab, the captain of the host, was dead, Hadad said to Pharaoh, let me depart, that I may go to mine own country.
So let's see if he did go to his own country. Go ahead.
Then Pharaoh said unto him, but what hast thou lacked with me, that behold, thou seekest to go to thine own country?
Yeah, he wanted Esau to stay.
And he answered, nothing. Howbeit, let me go in any wise. And God stirred up, and God stirred him up another adversary, Rezon, the son of Eladiah, which fled from his lord Hadadezer, king of Zobah. And he had gathered men unto him and became captain over a band, when David slew them of Zobah. And they went to Damascus and dwelt therein and reigned in Damascus.
Damascus, right? So they went to Damascus. Keep going.
Verse 25. And he was an adversary to Israel all the days of Solomon. Beside the mischief that Hadad did, and he abhorred Israel and reigned over Syria.
Keep going, because I'm trying to make a point.
And Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and Ephrathite of Zerada, Solomon's servant, whose mother's name was Zorah, a widow woman. Even he lifted up his hand against the king. And this was the cause that the lifted up his hand against the king. Solomon built Milo and repaired the breaches of the city of David, his father.
Right.
And the man Jeroboam was a mightily man of valor. And Solomon, seeing the young man that he was industrious, he made him ruler over all the charge of the house of Joseph. And it came to pass that time when Jeroboam went out of Jerusalem, that the prophet Ahijah, the Shilonite, found him in the way. And he had clad himself with a new garment, and the two were alone in the field.
All right, hold tight.
I got verse 30.
Yeah.
You still the mic, bro.
You just put it over here, bro.
You could be bad. I got one.
$29 eBay, man.
What you want to eat?
Yeah. Well, leave them since it's out there.
Oh yeah, where they going? I want to go.
Some type of place in Philippa called
Chewy's.
Chewy's. That's where we went before.
Yeah, across from Roberts. Yeah, right down, bro. Right.
Wait a minute.
Where were you at, Joel? Oh, I had stopped at verse 30.
Did you put my phone, bro? My phone? Nah, I know.
get that. Go to verse 23.
All right.
We started at 14.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, and verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And God stirred him up another adversary, Rezon, the son of Eladah, which fled from his lord Hadad, Ezer.
That's the point. That's the point. That's where I wanted to get to. Now start there from the top. So Hadad was the Edomite, and Hadad Ezer, that's his son. All right, so read that from the top, you man.
Page 19, softbook, second paragraph. From there, one goes to Pazula, which is called Sorrento the Great, built by Zer, son of Hadad Ezer.
So they're Edomites.
Mm-hmm.
They're Edomites. So Sorrento, that's Italy.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's Italy. Now,
Arab, what they got like the Arab,
but they all the same people. And they fled from David the king and Joab. Now go to the next paragraph, if you may.
Next paragraph. From this place, a man can travel 15 miles along the road under the mountains. A work.
That's it. Hold on. When you research that?
Yeah, that place exists. It's a tunnel.
It's a tunnel. And you said
it's a tunnel.
When you said it goes
it's a natural. Most of it's a natural cave too.
Oh, wow.
And there's filled with water now. I mean, there's water on the bottom. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh,
yeah. It says from this place a man can travel 15 miles along a road under the mountains.
A work executed by King Romulus.
People, they try to say King Romulus, it was that he's a myth or something like that. But that ain't what Benjamin of Tudela is saying. Go ahead.
Who built the city of Rome.
Of Rome. Read on.
He was prompted to this by fear of King David and Joab.
Now, why would you be scared of King David and Joab? I'll tell you why. Because they were killing Edomites. They were killing Edomites.
Joy. He was doing the work of light.
All right, starting from the top again.
From this place, a man can travel 15 miles along the road under the mountains. A work executed by King Romulus, who built the city of Rome. He was prompted to this by fear of King David and Joab his general. He built fortifications both upon the mountains and below the mountains, reaching as far as the city of Naples.
Keep going.
Naples is a very strong city, lying upon the seaboard, and was founded by the Greeks. About 500 Jews live here. Amongst them are Hezekiah, are Shalom, and are Elijah, Hakunan, and are Isaac of Har Naples, the chief rabbi of blessed memory.
So this is showing you that the Romans are Edomites. The Romans and the Greeks, they're Edomites. And it shows you that our people scattered amongst all of them.
Yep.
Now, I said that was going to be it, but I can't stop.
Man.
Yeah, it's page 36 in ours. You know the famous one. You know the famous one. The most damning thing in this book.
Oh, my God. Oh, man.
You know.
Oh, man.
This is why we love this book right here, y'all.
This is a day's journey.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, you want to start at the top?
No, we just want where it says they are faithful in the middle of the paragraph. That's what we want.
Page 26 in the soft book.
Pay close attention.
And what page
36.
36 in the hard book. In the middle of the paragraph that starts with thence as a 2-day journey. You're going to start at, they are faithful to each other, but a source of terror to their neighbors, killing even kings at the cost of their own lives.
What does that sound like? Sounds like the Arabs to me. The wild man.
Yep.
Oh, remember earlier, y'all, we kept reading about the Franks and the Mohammedans in the Holy War, the Crusades.
Yeah, you keep going.
The extent of their land is 8 days' journey, and they are at war with the sons of Edom.
The sons of Edom,
who are called the Franks.
The Franks. The Franks, who are constantly at war. The white man. To this day, he has to be fighting at wars. At any time, America is involved in at least 7 wars. They are bombing at least 7 different countries at all times. Oh yeah, yeah. Who are called the Franks. Now we're going to skip down to the next paragraph and find out about some other people.
10 miles. See it? 10 miles there from.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's on the middle of the jump. My eyes were straight to
all praises.
Page 27 Psalm like that. 10 miles therefrom a people dwell who are at war with the men of Sidon.
Again, at war.
Always at war.
Keep going.
They are called Druses.
They are called Druses. Remember that. Now, pay close attention to the characteristics of these people. Tell me who they are.
And are pagans of a lawless character.
Clue number 1, they pagan and they lawless.
They inhabit the mountains.
Oh, you gonna bring that up? Oh.
And the clefts of the rocks.
Gotta pull Obadiah on you.
Yeah, go to Obadiah.
Hold on, stop right there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
The habitations in the mountains and the cliffs of the rocks. Yeah. Let me see which one.
Shalom, Mordecai.
3. All right, so now watch this one.
All right, we got the book of Obadiah, starting at verse 3. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
Just start at 1 so they can, in context.
Oh, yeah, context.
Got the book of Obadiah, starting at verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
In battle.
Always fight.
Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
Greatly hated. Everybody secretly hate Esau. Go ahead.
The pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
They think they can't be taken down.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
Edom dwells in the clefts of the rocks. Read.
Whose habitation is high, and saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Pride.
That's all I wanted right there.
Pride. Somebody like that on them tall buildings. Up in the mountains.
All right, they inhabit the mountains.
Real cave dwellers.
Listen for the characteristics, y'all.
Amen. Do it.
Right.
They have no king or ruler. But dwell independent in these high places, and their border extends to Mount Hermon, which is a 3 days journey. They are steeped in vice.
They steeped in vice, meaning they wicked as hell. Characteristic. Message. Watch this.
They are steeped in vice. Brothers marrying their sisters.
Who does that sound like?
Brothers marrying their sisters.
And fathers their daughters.
Oh man, you see that on movies. You can even go to the Moore show and see that.
Man, we can go in deep backwoods.
Right.
It says they have one feast day in the year.
Pay close attention.
When they all collect, both men and women, to eat and drink together. And they then interchange their wives.
Wife swapping.
Wife swap.
Who are these people for 200?
Wow.
They even got a show.
Wife
swap.
Right.
Wow, man.
Wow. Oh my God, man. All right, there's one more thing I want to bring up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
There's so much in this book, man. They're gonna try to ban this book, yo.
Hold on,
man.
Can we
already
bring that out?
We already did a video on
This right here.
well, we did it in a video
You already did
before.
that?
No, go ahead. Well, it's on biblical histories and
Oh, all right, well, don't worry about it.
yeah. So I wanted to go. There's one more gen I want, and that's the nations of Christendom. He names them.
Nation of Christendom.
Yep, the nations of Christendom.
I thought I didn't see that one yet. I'm still digging in it.
There it is.
What page y'all take?
It's page 78. See if you can find it.
78. I'm on 68. Let's see. What does it start with? By the sea.
Alexandria,
Where you at?
right there.
That's where you want to start at? Alexandria?
Mm-hmm. Anybody knows the reason, like Columbus, they claim, he claimed he wanted to go to Asia by sailing, around the globe like that. And the reason they want to do that is for trade. They want to trade with the other nations, right? So you got trade routes everywhere. So, the Europeans, they traded with the Indians. West Indies people. East Indies people, Indians, stuff like that. Went and traded spices and all that with them, right? So he's gonna bring something out right here. You already know.
Okay, and then he didn't play with it.
Who paid that?
Ain't no but me. 78 to 65 in the soft.
And underline the next paragraph too. That's gonna mess your head up too. Something we've been saying about Egypt for a long time.
All right. Page 65 in the soft book starts with Alexandria. It says Alexandria is a commercial market for all nations. Merchants come thither from all the Christian kingdoms.
All the Christian kingdoms is gonna name them. Go ahead.
On the one side, from the land of Venetia and Lombardy, Tuscany, Apulia, Amalfi, Sicilia, Calabria, Romagna, Khazaria, Patzinkia, Hungary, Bulgaria,
Romania, Rakuvia.
You got Russia, Slavonia, Saxony, Denmark, Kirkland, Ireland, Norway, Frisia, Scottish, Wales, Flanders, Hainaut, Normandy, France, Porters, Anjou, Burgundy, Maureen, Provence, Genoa, Pisa, Gascony, Aragon, and Navarre, and towards the west under the sway of the Mohammedans, and Andalusia.
So under
words off the chain. What?
So towards the west under the sway of the Mohammedans.
Hold on, let me say this part though.
So
Africa and the land of the Arabs.
See, so under the sway of the Mohammedans, Andalusia, Algarve, Africa, and the land of the Arabs. So it separates it. It says, and towards the west, under the sway of the Mohammedans. So these are people following Islam. Algarve, Africa, the land of the Arabs. And on the other side, India, Zawila, Abyssinia, Libya, Yemen, Shinar, Esham, Syria, also Javan, whose people are called the Greeks, and the Turks. The Greeks and the Turks, white people, and merchants of India bring thither all kinds of spices, and the merchants of Edom buy them. The Christian nations are Edom.
That ain't us.
Every flag they got the Edom on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
That ain't us.
Christianity, you hit. The secret's out. Esau is the white man. Now, read that next paragraph.
Next paragraph.
Yeah, pay close attention. All you brothers in Kemet that think that the Egyptians built the pyramids.
Right.
Pay close attention to this.
Right. Yeah. Hold on. Let me put this in a box. I need this. Page 65 in the soft book.
78.
78 in the hard book. It says, by the sea coast, there is a sepulchre of marble on which are engraved all manner of beasts and birds.
Who engraves beasts and birds on the walls and on columns? Who does that?
Egypt.
They claim. Yeah.
An effigy is in the midst thereof, and all the writing is in ancient characters, which no one knows now.
Which no one knows now.
Oh,
This was in the 12th century.
and they ain't know it then. How you know it now?
Men suppose that it is the sepulchre of a king who lived in early times before the deluge.
Before the who?
Deluge.
The deluge.
Deluge.
Meaning the great flood. It's from before the flood. So the Egyptians didn't build the damn pyramid. With that, we're going to close out. My brother Jacob.
My brother Nehemiah. Brother Joel.
Brother Ymir.
We're from the Israelite Saints of Christ. You can visit us on IsraeliteSaintsOfChrist.org. You can go to our page on Facebook, Israelite Saints of Christ. We also have another page where we put these books, and it's called Biblical Histories. It's in Facebook. You can look it up. With that, we say shalom. Outstanding, brothers.